up guys, and welcome to today's video where I'll be talking about Juventus transfers and squad prediction. So we're going to start off with the players that Juventus potentially could sell, and then we are going to start off with Alvaro Morata, who has obviously already moved to Real Madrid, and then now he's connected with multiple clubs, and then apparently Real Madrid has offered a new contract for him, which could definitely happen if Alvaro Morata wants to stay at Real Madrid. But I think, Benzema would be a better first choice for Real Madrid as well. And then the next player we're going to have a look at is Pogba. And then now I see this happening. I see a good chance of this happening because obviously Juventus have already signed Pjanic from Roma, which means Pogba could definitely move to some other club. Right now he's most strongly connected to Manchester United, and I could definitely see it happening. And then the next player we are going to have a look at is Stefan Lichtsteiner, since Dani Alves has already signed for Juventus. They already got a wing back, so I already got Lichtsteiner in the club, great. Anyway, so Lichtsteiner is now connected with Chelsea as well as Man City, even though I think him going to Chelsea would be like the higher possibility of that happening. And then we are going to have a look at the next player, which is going to be Lamina, and then right now he is now connected with Stoke City, and it could definitely happen. I could see, wow, Lamina looks like he is not in FIFA, but he could definitely move to Stoke City. He's now connected with Stoke City, and I could definitely see it happening. And the next player we are going to have a look at is Simeone Zaza. And then the thing about him, like, a lot of people remember him, like, just for his penalty miss, obviously against Germany, which was quite embarrassing for him. He did all that step and stuff, and then he just skied the ball. But he's actually a decent striker. But now he's linked to Wolfsburg transfer, and once again I could see it happening because obviously with Morata left, Juventus is now looking for a new striker, and then with the new striker coming in, which is, I see the highest chance of Higuain coming, Zaza is not going to have his space. And then the next player we are going to have a look at is Leonardo Bonucci, who is a very, very solid centre back, and right now he is connected with Manchester City, and both Manchester City and Chelsea, in which I could see both of the transfers happening. I'm not too sure where he's going to go, but I think he's definitely going to go to either of those two clubs, because Juventus has obviously already signed Benatia from Bayern Munich. So no, I don't want to quick sell. I'm just going to remove from the squad. And then we are going to get into the actual squad prediction, and then we're going to start off with the striker who's going to start for mighty Juventus, going for the 5th league win in a row. Could that possibly happen? That would be absolutely amazing for Juventus side. But I think this, starting with this, he's got a lot of inform, so obviously he has, done a very good job for Napoli. He scored 36 goals for Napoli last season, and I think that is just absolutely sensational. Broke the record as well. And then the thing about Higuain is that he's also connected with Arsenal. And we are going to have a look at Dybala. Is going to be the next striker. I think is going to start alongside Higuain, or maybe other potential strikers that Juventus could sign. And then they got a good link as well, Argentinian link. In future, Dybala could definitely be in the the first team Argentina squad. Now it's not, but we are going to have a look at the left midfielder and the wing back, I should say wing back. And then we're gonna have Alexandro there. Now obviously Evra is obviously a very good choice for Juventus as well, but right now I think Alexandro, he's younger than Evra. Like, the thing about Evra is that he's getting a little bit old, he's got a little bit slower, so I think Alexandro would be a very good choice for Juventus if they want to use him. Obviously they bought him, so get the most out of him. He's obviously played very well for Juventus as well. And then the right wing back is going to be, I think it's going to be Dani Alves, since I think Lichtsteiner is going to leave. Dani Alves is a very solid player. Now he plays for Juventus, and I think Juventus made a very good signing. Like, he's probably one of the world's best right backs at the moment. Obviously he's getting a little bit old, so Juventus has got to work out what happens with that. And then we're going to work out we're going to look at cam position, and I think Pjanic could be in that position. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to just assume every players I mentioned in the who I think Juventus is gonna sell is not going to be in the squad. So Pogba won't be in the squad right now because I think he's going to leave, but that is just my prediction. And then we're going to move on to the defensive midfielder or midfielder position. We're going to have Marquisio there, and unfortunately for him, he didn't make it to the Euros since of the injury. Even though I think for Italy's side, I think Italy did very, very well. Marquisio, absolutely unimportant player, very important player, not unimportant, very important player for Juventus and both Italy, and then he's definitely going to start for Juventus. That is what I'm quite sure about. And the next player is going to be the German international Sami Khedira. And once again, this guy Sami Khedira gets injured a lot, but the thing about Sami Khedira is when he's on form, he plays absolutely amazing. He's on point when he's on form, and then it is kind of disappointing that players like, good player like him gets like injured very often, and then it kind of affects his form. And then the three centre backs we are going to have a look at. The first one is going to be Chiellini, and then Chiellini, obviously a very, very good centre back for Juventus and Italy, definitely very, very needed. And then, well, this three centre back is definitely, a lot of Serie A clubs struggle to get through this defense, and a lot of clubs in the Champions League struggle to get through this defense. It's definitely one of the world's best defense chem side. And then we're going to move on to the right centre back, and then we're going to have Bazzagli there. And the thing about it is that Bazzagli is obviously getting old. He's like 35 years old, which is you just gotta say that he's getting very, very old. But then obviously this could be one of the final seasons for him playing for Juventus, because he's getting a little bit old, but he is still definitely a very good centre back, and I think he's going to start for Juventus. And then we're going to have a look at the new signing, Benicia from Bayern Munich, and I think this is a very good signing as well. Obviously with Bonucci, with a good chance of Bonucci leaving, they're trying to get his position fixed with Benicia, even though I think Rugani would have been a decent choice as well, but Rugani could definitely replace Bazzagli when he's getting old and stuff. And then in the goalkeeper position, we're gonna have a look at Gianluigi Buffon, and I think Buffon is definitely one of the best keepers out there, and then he really finishes the team of Juventus, because he's just a solid player. In the defending side, some players are getting old, like someone like Dani Alves and Bazzagli, but they got really good future side. So we're gonna start off in the subs. We're gonna start off with Rugani, who is right now connected with Arsenal, but I didn't add him to the sell list that Juventus could sell, because I don't think Juventus is definitely not selling him, and if they are planning to sell him, then they just shouldn't, because he's just such an important player for Juventus. He's gonna be probably the next Chiellini or something, because he's got a very good future, and I think Juventus should definitely keep him. And then we're gonna have a look at the next player, who is going to be Mandzukic. Now I'm not too sure about this guy, because sometimes he plays really well, but sometimes he doesn't. When he doesn't play very well, it is a little bit of a pain to watch. So I think that is why obviously Juventus is trying to sign a new striker. If they can get Higuain, that would be amazing. But if they can't, they're also connected with Icardi, Gabriel Barbosa, who I think is like the hot player of this transfer market. He's connected with so many different clubs. And then we're going to have a look at the next player who could possibly in the sub, and it is going to be Juan Cuadrado. Now Juventus is trying to buy Juan Cuadrado like fully. As you can see right now, he's at Chelsea, but I don't think Cuadrado is going to stay at Chelsea. I think Juventus is going to sign him fully, or maybe loan him for one more time, as some of the media says. But I think Cuadrado will play for Juventus next season. And then we're going to have a look at the next player, who is going to be Pereira, and then I think he's a very good signing as well. Obviously he didn't sign this season, but he signed up last season. But I think he's a very solid player. He can play in multiple positions, and then he's just a good player. I'm just, yeah. And then we are going to have a look at the next player, who is Hernandez. Once again, 31 years old. He's getting a little bit old, but when he is in form, he is a very, very good player. And then he started a lot of match for Juventus last season as well. And then the next player is going to be Sturaro, who obviously made into the the Euro side as well. And then I think he's a pretty decent centre mid. I mean, a midfielder as well. You know, just for the sub side, because as a starting player, I'm not too sure, but you know, definitely he could come on, you know, later on in the game and then probably change the game if something is not going right. And then we are going to have a look at this player as well, who is going to be Asamoah. Now, I'm not too sure about this guy, Asamoah. I haven't really seen him play in real life, in my opinion. And then apparently he's decent, but now he's connected with multiple EPL clubs as well, so I could definitely see Asamoah leaving the club. I haven't added him in the sell list because I haven't seen any transfer news happening right now, but I think Asamoah is definitely, you know, leave to a different club. And then we are going to have a look at the next player, which I forgot to mention, is Patrice Evra. And Patrice Evra, this guy, you know, after, you know, a lot of people thought after Patrice Evra left Man United, his, you know, career is like going down and stuff, but now he's going back up. As you can see, Evra obviously did very well with Juventus 2 seasons ago, getting in the finals, unfortunately losing in the finals. He also made it into finals for the French side in the Euros, so I think Evra is still a very solid player. He could play instead of Alexandro, even though I think Juventus is going to start Alexandro instead of Evra. And then, well, with this being said, let's have a look at the other players that Juventus is connected with. But me personally, I don't think Juventus is going to sign. So obviously, I have already mentioned Icardi, Gabriel, and Sanchez, but they are also bidding for apparently Matic, who I don't think is going to happen. Wow, that's a loud motorbike. But Matic, you know, obviously Chelsea still needs him, even though he didn't play very well last season. I think Conte is going to keep Matic, and then they are also connected with Depay, which I just don't think it's going to happen. And then Juventus should really not make the signing. I don't think that's going to be a good signing if they try to buy Depay. He's not really going to fit in well as well. And then Mata, and in my opinion, I think Mata would be a good signing if they can do it, but I've only seen like a few news on it, and I don't think it's really going to be happening. And then also Pajaka, and I think this is going to happen. I forgot to mention him, but Pajaka is he's really close to signing with Juventus. Anyway, this will be it for today's video. If you have enjoyed it, please hit the like button, subscribe, and goodbye.